Hey friends, welcome to the 59th episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Hope you guys have had a good, I guess it's only been a week since you've seen me, but it's been 2 weeks for me. So yeah, I hope you guys have had a good time. We got snow this week. So I had a work from home day this week. Thankfully the roads are pretty clear, or like almost entirely clear now, but all the yards are still covered in snow and there's still snow on the roofs and it's just really pretty. When I had my work from home day, and so I kept Lolly inside obviously all day, and I just kept my big window in my front of my house open, and she sat there for hours just watching it snow. It was really cute. It's kind of like, yeah, same. I don't want to be out there, but I would like to look at it. So it was good dog entertainment. But yeah, so that's been good. This week has also been heavy, following the fires in California. And then I posted this about this on my Instagram, but at the nail salon I go to, one of the sweet nail techs lost her young son to leukemia. Pretty suddenly. He got sick around Thanksgiving, and just really went downhill quickly. I don't know all of the story because I was hearing it secondhand, but he ended up being on ECMO and needing brain surgery, and just really, really sad. So yeah, it's been heavy. I saw a quote I really liked on like Instagram, and it said, do for one person what you wish you could do for everyone. And I really like that, because I think when you see these mass disasters, it just feels very daunting. It feels like you can't really do anything to help. But I think if we all kind of take the mindset of like, I can't fix the whole problem, but I can help this one person, I think that has a huge ripple effect. So that being said, in my description box I have included a link to the Red Cross, if you feel led to donate, or if you feel like you can donate, just to kind of chip in and help these people who've lost everything. So anyway, I have done a lot of knitting in the last 2 weeks. I've done a lot. I kind of decided, so I have a list on my phone of all of my whips, active or in hibernation, and it's been really helpful. So my goal was to stay under 10. I think I'm right now at 11, because one thing was just calling my name and I couldn't not cast it on. But I think another thing is going to get frogged and repurposed. So anyway, so I've finished a lot of smaller things, and I'm starting to plan some bigger things, sweaters. I guess you guys can tell me down below if you're interested in this at all, but I wanted to make a video about what I'm thinking about knitting, or like things I want to knit in the future. I will never be a make 9 type of person. I don't know how people plan out their knits for the whole year like that. Nah, that's not happening. I just, how am I gonna know now what I want to knit in the fall? Like this, I don't think that's possible. I mean, for me, might be for other people. But I recently started watching those Twins Who Knit podcast, which I love, and they break down their plans into seasons, and so like January through March, and that I feel like is much more doable, because you're gonna have to, like, for me, realistically, the most I can do in a month is a sweater and maybe one accessory, like realistically, just with the time I have, unless I get snow days. But yeah, so I thought that might be a good idea. So if you guys are interested in that, I have a lot of ideas, and I'm trying as much as I can to knit just from my stash, because as you can see, it has gotten out of hand. And I need to rein it in a little bit. I need to make space. I really need to make space. But if you're interested in that, let me know. If not, that's fine. I'll just make lists on my phone and show you as I make them. Yeah, so we got kind of a smattering today. But let's start with what I'm wearing, because this is an FO. This is the Marseille sweater from PetiteKnit. So this is a drop shoulder sweater with some short row shaping at the arm. I knit mine out of Explore Knits and Fibers. I always forget what the name of the base is. Is it Rocky's DK? And so I use the pink is Gumwall and the red is Pike Place. These are her Seattle collection. Now, okay, so I've been talking up how good the color matching is from one year to the next. I might have gotten a bit cocky about that because, don't judge my sweatpants, okay? You can definitely see where one year started and one year ended, but that's okay. I love it. I don't think it's that noticeable. And honestly, I have a red sweater that's even more noticeable and I wear it all the time, so I don't care. But yeah, this is superwash yarn. And so I wish I had a pre-blocking picture, but before I blocked it, it was like the arm was here, the sleeve was there. It was too short. And I was just like, I really resisted the urge to knit a longer sleeve. But it blocked to the perfect dimensions. I love it. It's got a lot of ease, but not like too much ease, so it doesn't look baggy. It's long, but not like super long. The sleeves, when I'm standing, the sleeves hit perfect. I'm also quite proud of my sewn bind off. I think it looks pretty good. Mine don't always look that good, so I'm gonna take a win. I love the colors. Pink and red is literally one of my favorite combos. I love it so much. So, and I feel like I finished this in the perfect time to wear it for Valentine's Day, which is my favorite holiday of the whole year. For real, I love it. So I have another pink sweater to wear that week. This yarn is incredibly soft, like next to skin, zero itch. It's not the warmest, but it's superwash, so you can't really expect that because the fibers aren't gonna mesh together as much, so it's not as windproof. But I still like it. I mean, this is a new favorite sweater. I have to keep myself from wearing this every single day. It didn't end up quite as long as I was thinking it would, but it's still probably too long to wear with dresses. Excuse me. But definitely with skirts and with pants, not a problem. So that's my Marseille sweater. Okay, next FO. Okay, I don't know if I showed this one the last time, but my Musselburgh hat, maybe I'd shown it, but I hadn't blocked it yet. So I've blocked it now. It looks kind of funky, but it fits. It actually fits better since I blocked it. I think I like this side better, but that's partly because the other side I didn't knit long enough, or I don't know which, or I knit the other side too long, and so the beige peeks out when I wear it this way, which I don't hate, but I also think the beige just looks better on me. So that's probably how I'll wear it. This is a nice complement to the last Musselburgh I made, which was neon pink. So it was like a light pink and a neon pink. If I ever knit this again, which I feel like if I knit this again, it's going to be like when I talk myself into running another marathon, just forget how much you hate the training. So I like the end product, don't so much love the process. But if I ever did it again, I would measure this and I would knit another inch, because that's where that's the thing, is it's just too short. Like it fits, but I feel like it kind of starts sliding off my head. I have a big head, and so if I don't get hats long enough, they start to like work their way off my head. But I like it. It's warm. It's double thickness. There is a chance I'll end up giving this away, but for now, I'm going to keep it because I do like it. Oh, the colors. I've talked about this before. So this color is Squish Fingering from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers in Elk Antler. And then the charcoal is from Chelsea Lux Fibers, and it's, I think, just called Charcoal. Okay. Second to last FO, I'm also very excited about. This is my Hipster beanie, which is also a PetiteKnit pattern. And I knit it out of Explorer Knits and Fibers, Rocky's DK, and the Fireheart colorway. And you guys, I love this. I love this. This is my new favorite hat pattern. It's not hard at all. It actually goes relatively fast. Let's see if I can get, I always feel like when I try to take side-on pictures with hats, it shows off my double chin really well. So, I love this color. I think this color goes so well with my eyes. I also talked about this before. The colorway name is Fireheart, which I am still on my way through. Crap, I forgot the name of the book series. I'm reading Assassin's Blade right now. Still. What was the name of the first one? Throne of Glass. I'm reading that series, and so now that name makes sense. Before I didn't understand the significance, but I blocked this, and what I actually did was I took a plate and pushed it out to block it because it does point a little bit, and I didn't like that. So I wanted it to be more rounded, and so I blocked it with a plate in it. I think if I did it again, I might block it with a balloon in it, just to like make sure it's rounded and it's taut. But I really like the decreases in the crown. They're so cool. Before I started knitting this and after I bought the pattern, I did notice, so there's 4 sizes. There's like kid, teen, I don't know. There's 2 children sizes, 2 adult sizes. But there's only 2 stitch counts. And where the size difference comes in is the length. So for the bigger sizes, you knit more length. And I think that's just because the stretch is so much. But if it's shorter and you stretch it to a certain degree, it fits. If you stretch it too far, it doesn't fit. So, but all of the decreases are in multiples of 16. And so I think I'm gonna actually knit this again with a thinner yarn and just go up 16 stitches. And I think that'll be fine. So it's adaptable. But I really like this. Like I said, it's probably my new favorite hat pattern. I don't normally block my hats, but this one I did feel like it just needed it. So, oh no, oh, I almost threw it off the bed. Okay. I feel like I'm going a lot faster than I thought I would. Okay, the next one I'm really excited about. I've had this yarn for probably a year. I first found out about this pattern on 2 Pearls in a Pod podcast. Bought the yarn and it sat for a while. And we've had a cold snap. Obviously it snowed. My floors are very cold. I have a crawl space, and I think that just makes, like, there's always cold air under my house, so my floors stay very cold. So I knit some Doble Tofler. And I refuse to call them double slippers because Doble Tofler is just so much more fun to say. So these are slippers that you knit in, you can knit them in any yarn really, but the yarn called for is fritted skarn, which is like an Aran weight, very feltable wool. And it's a free pattern from Sandus Garn. So you basically, these are double thickness. So I'm not going to attempt to unsheath them, but I will try to find some pictures. I think I posted some earlier, but if I can find them, I'll put them up here. So they look real funky. I actually sent a picture of them to my family and I was like, what is she making? But you knit them, they're a lot bigger when you first knit them. So they are like this long for my foot. I think I maybe knit one size too big. So I think in European shoe sizing, I'm like a 40.1 or something. I'm a 9.5 in the US. And so they give them in size ranges. So it's like 40 to 42. And so that's the one I picked. And in hindsight, I wish I had gone down a size. But, so you knit the whole thing and then you felt it. And the way I planned on felting, so I'm always so scared to wash my knits in the washing machine because I have felted things before. But that's what you're trying to do here. But felting also shrinks. And so I had some laundry to do. So I took my towels and put them in the washer. And I've never used this cycle before, but it's a speed wash. It's high heat speed wash, takes 15 minutes. I was like, perfect. So I did that and then I took it out and they looked no different. I was like, oh, okay. So we did another, I just went ahead and washed them again. Took them out, a little bit of felting, but really not much. So I thought, okay, I'll dry them. So I put the towels in the dryer and I dried them on high heat. And I came back and you could still see all of the stitches. Like it really hadn't felted. And so I had more laundry to do. So I thought, okay, not sure why these aren't felting, but whatever. So I did one load of laundry. I did it, I normally don't use high heat, I just kind of use warm water. But I did high heat, did my normal load of laundry, dried all of it, and it was still not felted. Did the next load of laundry, dried it, still, and that's when I sent out the text. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So it turns out modern sewing machines just don't agitate the same as older washing machines. And so it's actually fairly difficult to felt things adequately in modern washers. So what I would say, what the recommendation I got from a lot of people is to fill up your sink or like plug your sink and pour boiling water over this and get it like a wooden spoon and just agitate it. And then dunk it in cold water. So like the shock between the hot and the cold is often what does the felting along with the agitation. And then you can kind of mold them and form them. The alternative to that, if you don't feel like doing that, I think is just if you have a lot of laundry to do that day, just put them in every single load of laundry and wash it on high heat, which is not the most economical way, but I guess you could probably get there too if you just did it your normal way, but just did lots of loads of laundry. I think what you're also supposed to do is once you're done felting them, you stick them while they're still wet on your foot and put a sock over it. There was no way my socks were fitting over this. I'm gonna try to show this. This is gonna be fun. So, oh gosh, I'm not that flexible. Oh. So this is them on my foot. So they do fit. They don't, like, they come off pretty easily. Wow, that was fun. Oh, they're really warm. But they're not tight. So, and the other thing I found is that because you're knitting both inside and outside the same size, it takes quite a bit of work to make sure that they're laying flat, because it's not like the inside one is smaller. So it wrinkled a lot. So it took me quite a bit of time to make sure there weren't any wrinkles, because I cannot do wrinkles. My mom used to call me Princess in the Pea Foot, because if there was any wrinkle in my sock, I would just like melt down and start crying. But anyway, I love these. I have yarn to make another pair in gray. But I don't know. I might wait a minute just because these were fun. They did not take long. They are, so somebody also, a lot of people asked me if I was going to put anything on the bottom to help with slipping. I probably will, but I'm not in a huge rush. These are not like super slippery. Like it doesn't feel like I'm ice skating in my house. My upstairs is carpet, but my downstairs hardwood. So there is like going downstairs, I have to be careful in these. But I'm also, I'm really bad at going downstairs. I have poor depth perception when it comes to stairs. And when I had just bought this house, I fell down my stairs. I still remember it. It was scary. I was like on the 3rd step from the top and fell down and landed on my chin. And thankfully I was fine. But there are 10 steps and I count them every time I go down, literally in my head, up or down, I'm counting. So I'm careful anyway on my stairs. I don't like stairs, but, I will probably get like some like sew on patches for the bottom just to give them a little bit more grip. But they're done. They're very warm. They're very nice. I like them. Okay. I have one more kind of FO, but it's spinning. So I have been craving my spinning wheel. I have a hard time spinning when it's dark, because I kind of need to be able to see what I'm doing. And my vision is iffy in that intermediate range. So usually I have to wait till the weekends to spin, just because I know I can be home during the daylight. But I got a little bit more time yesterday because I was working from home, and so I had more breaks. And so I finished up this skein of yarn. So I have about 212 yards of this. I have not washed it yet, so I think it will bloom a little bit more. I think I kept my label because I couldn't tell. So this is from Flock Fiber Festival. This was from Hello Lavender. And it is Rambouillet, but it's like a fine micron. It's 20 to 23 microns. And it was the colorway Flock 2024. I only had one braid of this. So I think I might make myself a hipster hat in this. I don't know. It's very pastel. It's a lot of like pinks and purples, or like lavenders and yellows, which is not actually usually my favorite combo, but I still think it would look pretty. And if nothing else, I can give this away to a family member, like knit it into a hat and give it away. But it was really nice. It was really soft. It was really enjoyable to spin. It also, like, I get very absorbed in spinning. So what I'm not a phenomenal spinner, so please don't take all your advice from me. Find somebody who knows more. But I took my braid, split it in half, wound up one and like left it to the side, and then for the other one, I split that into quarters lengthwise and just spun each one end to end, and that was ply number 1. Then did the same thing with ply number 2. I don't know if that's an official way to do things or even a recommended way to do things, but that's the way I enjoy doing things. And I spun it. I have a Ashford Kiwi whose name is Agnes, and I love her. So Agnes and I have spent some time together in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so that was fun. It was a good break from knitting. I find if I don't have like something on TV or an audiobook, this is one of those things where your body is kept busy, but your mind is able to wander. And so it can sometimes be helpful in like processing things, just because, I don't know, my mind is active enough that I can think through things that happened that week. It can be helpful. Okay, that is all for my FOs, I think. Yeah. I have 2 whips that I'm actively working on. I have obviously more than that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, story. This bag is where my sock has been, and it's also been in my purse. But it was heavy, and I didn't feel like having a heavy, I thought, when I pulled this out, I thought, dang, this is heavy. Like, this is some heavy sock yarn. But then when I was carrying my purse for the last few days, I thought, man, my purse is light. Yes, it is light because my wallet was in it. Didn't even know this was missing from my purse, so that's great. Been walking around and driving without a wallet. Golly. That's fun. Okay, well, oh look, I've got some meds in here too. This is what happens when I keep this in my purse. Okay. So I needed another sock to work on just for like passing the time. So I cast on this. This is from the Year of Socks from La Mercerie from last year. I think this is Salty Blonde Fibers, I think. I don't remember the colorway name, but I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got stellina in it. So it's very sparkly, but it's fun. It's very soft. And then this is the contrast color, which is like a dark green. Oh, sorry. Oh, FedEx. I forgot. Oh, I'm getting shoes. If I'm not wearing sneakers, I'm wearing Rothy's, which are a type of shoe. I think they're made out of recycled water bottles and they're machine washable, which is great. They're very comfy and it's pretty much all I wear. I started with 2 pairs, a black pair and a beige pair, and I wore them to death. Like I had them for 5 years, and at the end of year 5, they started to unravel. But that's with me wearing them like 5 days a week and washing them frequently. So I like Rothy's, but they had like an end of season sale and they're not cheap, right? So I buy them because they last for a while, for a long time, and they are machine washable. But I think they normally run like $150 or $200. They're not cheap. They had some on sale for $50 and they were cute. And so I bought several. So the first half of the order came in this past week, and I think this is the second half of the order. That's exciting. Oh man, y'all. Okay, another shipping story that is not as happy. I'm actually really annoyed by this. So I ordered yarn like before the holidays from Woolly Mammoth in Northern Ireland. I love her yarn. And her side shipping was great. I always have it shipped to my office because you have to sign for it, and they always try to deliver it when I'm not at home. And so then it gets held hostage at the post office, and it's a struggle for me to get there before they close every day. And so it's like always like, I have to get there in time. So that's frustrating. So I usually have it shipped to my office. Well, apparently we had somebody new in the mailroom who didn't know me and didn't recognize my name and said that I wasn't there. And so it got returned to sender. And I have tried everything I can, like calling, texting, everything I can think of to intercept this package, and you can't. It's being shipped back to Northern Ireland. I don't even know how that works. Like, is there gonna be like a customs fee? I don't know. I've emailed her and just said, hey, this is my bad. I'm sorry, but I'm also sad because it seems to be in mail limbo. Like, I've been tracking it, and all it just keeps saying is in transit. It's like, I just want my yarn. Also, like, oh, the shipping is gonna be so bad. Especially if I have to pay like customs twice. Oh, but I want the yarn, and I also like feel bad that like now she's gonna have that headache to deal with. Anyway, maybe it'll miraculously show back up at my work. Maybe they'll decide it's cheaper to try to redeliver it than to try to ship it back to Northern Ireland. I don't know. But anyway, sock. I haven't made a huge amount of progress on it, but that's okay. It's going slow. Okay, so also, while we're on the topic of socks, a few of you have commented. I did say last time I did buy a circular sock machine, but I'm not going to talk about it until I have it. So I'm not even going to tell you what kind I got. You're just going to have to wait. Part of that's in case there's a bad experience with it. I don't want to throw a company under the bus. I don't think there will be, but in case. But the other part is because I like surprises. So you're just going to have to wait. But yeah, that hopefully will be here in February. So I will talk about it once I have it. Okay, my last whip is a new one you guys haven't seen yet. I don't even think I posted it on Instagram. I probably wouldn't be done, but I might be closer to being done, but I had to rip out a lot of this. So this is my Stockholm slipover by PetiteKnit. Obviously today's episode is brought to you by PetiteKnit. This is a tank top kind of vest. I guess vest is more appropriate since it's woolly. It's I don't know if you call it a drop shoulder because there's not a sleeve. But you knit the back part first and then you pick up, and the join is really nice. It's like very subtle. You can see it, but it's not super obvious. And then you join in the round and you're off to the races. So my gauge was very, very close. I think her gauge is 19 stitches per 4 inches. Mine was 18, I think. So it's quite close. And so I knew I didn't want an oversized vest. I wanted something a little bit more snug, but I didn't want like 0 to negative ease. That just didn't sound good. So I picked one that would have given me like 3 to 4 inches of positive ease. And I've just been mindlessly knitting on it. I am using some yarn I got in Denmark. This is Ysolda's Old Spindery. I cannot pronounce the second name. I think it stands for craft yarn. But it is absolutely lovely. I got this at Garntopia, which I've discovered they ship to the US. And it doesn't seem like it's horrible shipping either. So that's exciting. This I think is dark olive. When I looked on the website, it says Mork Oliven, which I'm assuming just means dark. I don't think it even says on here which one it is. But there wasn't another one that looked similar to this, so I'm assuming that's it. Sorry, I thought I just saw a lawn company come through and I was like, no, not today. But it wasn't. Anyway, I love this yarn. It is so soft. It is rustic. If you can't handle rustic yarn, this probably isn't for you. But I also don't really find this that itchy. It's not like as soft as this, but I've tried this slipover on next to skin, and if it was a cold enough day, I could do it. I really could. But if it was warm at all, But anyway, I've just been like mindlessly knitting on the round. I think I was like at 4 or 5 inches on the body, and I remember thinking like, these armholes are quite big, and like that's a lot of stitches, but I have it on a fairly small cord, and I mean not that small, it's like a 30-inch cord, but I don't know, it's just hard to see. And then I decided I wanted to try it on, so I put it on a try-on cord and tried it on, and it was huge. Like, I think I measured it and it ended up having 8 inches of positive ease, and I think my gauge is still measuring correctly. I need to actually go back and do the math based on the pattern. Maybe my gauge got bigger, I don't know, but I was like, that is not what I want. Like, especially if it's going to be sleeveless. I actually for half a second considered going in and just adding sleeves and making it an oversized sweater, but I don't have enough yarn for that because I only bought 5 skeins. And so I ripped out 4 or 5 inches of knitting, and it hurt. It actually, because this yarn is so sticky, it really wasn't that hard, because I just frogged it and then went through and picked up, and that I only had like 1 stitch I couldn't pick up. And just in one day I already reknit 4 inches. But for my size, she has you cast on in the underarm 16 stitches per side, which just felt like a lot. So like 32 additional stitches to what was already big enough. So what I didn't want it just to be like a slit sleeve, and so I added 1 stitch on either side of the marker. So I added 4 stitches instead of 32. So that basically took down like 1.5 inches of circumference, which didn't, like, then I was like, oh, should I have maybe taken like even fewer? I don't know, like, should I have, I like waffled on it, but then I just decided, you know what, if it's a little bit oversized, that's fine. Maybe I can just knit the ribbing on the sleeve on a much smaller needle and kind of cinch it in a little bit. That might make it bunch, I don't know. But I just decided to go with it, and I got it to this 4-inch mark and tried it on, and I do like the fit a lot better now. So I kind of debated, like, before I go back and rip out, should I just add the collar so it looks more like a actual sweater? But I decided I knew if I waited to rip it out and pick up stitches, I just wasn't gonna do it, so I did it. But I'm gonna try to make this a little bit more cropped than I normally do. So might finish the body this weekend. I don't know. I've got some things today and tomorrow, so we'll see. But definitely by next week, this will be done. Because once you get done with the body, then it's just ribbing. That's it. And that'll go pretty quick. So yay! Then I'll have a very woolly vest to put on over like button downs or long sleeve t-shirts. And this, I think there's something about knitting with a really rustic wool that it kind of like exfoliates your hands. So my hands have felt so soft. It's been really nice. I love it. So hopefully I'll be done with this by next week. And then on to more projects. Oh, I was like, so I had to like, this is how much I have left of ball number 2. So I might only need 3 balls of yarn for this, which is kind of wild. But anyway. Okay, I have acquisitions left. I have 3. That is it. And then we're done. So I'll talk about the first one because it was my Christmas present. Oh, I meant to bring my sister's. So my sister bought me these little scissors that are shaped, they have like a peacock on them. So, which I actually didn't have a pair of scissors like that. So it's kind of fun. My mom, my parents, their Christmas present to me, I was actually really impressed with my mom for this. So she bought me yarn, but she didn't try to pick it out on her own. She went to Moondrake Yarns in OKC and asked her to help pick out something I would like because I shop there quite a bit and I feel like Rochelle kind of knows my style. So the only thing is she got 2 different weights of yarn, but I'll forgive her for that. So the first one she got me is some Spin Cycle Dream State in the Wololo colorway, which is really pretty. Like orange and pinks and teals. Yeah. And then she got me some Moon Spun in the Sea Spray colorway. So they go so well together, but they are not the same weight. But I could maybe get away with double stranding this and holding it with this. I don't know. But I was impressed with her. Like, she did a good job picking out some yarn with some help from Rochelle. So that was my Christmas present. Okay, I had an advent that I haven't shown yet, but we're well past the point of secrecy on this, and it was just so pretty. I wanted to show you guys. So I got the Farmer's Daughter Fiber countdown. I think so the theme, oh, I used to have it over there, but I got rid of the box. The theme was Sasquatch, I think, or hunting for Sasquatch. And so the color scheme is not Christmas at all, but it's so fun. So the first one you open is, let's see, it was dyed by Farmer's Daughter, but it's a Brooklyn tweed, it's Arbor, and it was just Celestial Countdown is the colorway. But this is Montana wool, but I've never worked with Arbor before, but goodness, it's soft. It's really nice. So I might need myself a sweater in Arbor. But I got 1 skein of this, and then all of the minis were in the Odang base, which is a Surrey alpaca. So I'm gonna show them, I think I got 11 of them. Yeah, there's 11 of them. So the first one I opened was this beautiful like dark mauve, and then you get like a pale mauve, and then pink. And I think these are in the right order. I did jumble them, so I'm kind of guessing. Then you move to this like orangey. And then this guy, just getting a little bit more green. And then that. Oh gosh, okay, see if I can do this. Okay, then the next two are teal and forest green. Oh gosh, okay. I'm just gonna hold them all up together. Like, how gorgeous is this combo? So I feel like so there was a pattern included in the countdown, but it didn't speak to me, so I was like, I don't wanna make that. But I wanna make something with color work, and I kind of thought maybe the Kintra, which is another Crayabea pattern, and it's coming out, I think, next month. That could be fun. I don't know if that would have enough contrast. I don't know. But I might try to do that. And then I have like this Spy Hop from San Juan Woolworks that I think could go really good with like all these different colors. I have lots of creams, and like some gray. I could even do, I don't know if that would work. That would maybe be too dark. But yeah, do something that really shows off all those pretty colors. I think if I did the Kintra, which if you haven't seen that one yet, it's a color work yoke where you do 1 by 1 color work, but it's a circular yoke and it changes. So you kind of change out colors as you go. And if you did it all in Surrey alpaca, it would just be like fluffy. And then if the rest of the sweater was in something that didn't have fluff, that color would just stand out so much. It'd be so pretty. So that's what's been like tickling the back of my mind, but I'll have to wait and see when that pattern comes out, if this will work. I think it will, because I think she's planned to have it from anywhere from like 4 colors to 24 colors. So I could just like make it work with 11. I could probably find one more. I have some more. Oh dang, I could make it 12 if I needed to. Okay, I have one more acquisition. This is something, it came out somewhat recently. It was like a new base and I really wanted to try it, but I was like, put it in your cart and then walk away, and if you keep coming back to it, you can buy it. But like, chill out, don't just impulse buy it. So I did. It was like in my cart for probably a month, and finally, I think around Christmas, I was like, screw it. I've waited long enough, I want to buy this. So this is from Pearl Soho. This is their new Till base, which is Andean Highland wool. And so I kind of felt like this was a good, I don't say dupe, but like alternative to Peruvian Highland wool from Filcolana, I think. It's a Aran weight. It is really soft, and I got it in the berry pie colorway, and I love it. I got a lot. I have 3 of them here because I was like, I'm not moving all of these, but this is like, it feels kind of, I hate to say the word workhorse because I think that workhorse yarn gets associated with like rough, and it's not. It's soft, but it also is sturdy. And this is just gonna make such a warm sweater. So my thought is to make the Sonia sweater from PetiteKnit, which is a drop shoulder sweater in the bulky gauge or Aran weight gauge. And so I think this would work really well for it, and it would go so fast. So this is one of my potential plans for the next 3 months. We will see. I have other plans, but one of the problems with finishing a project and not already having another one started is now I kind of like get decision paralysis where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which one to start. I want to do all of them, but I can't. I have to pick. And so that's hard for me. Like I have probably 5 sweaters right now that I want to make right now. I wanted them last week, but I have a full-time job and I have other social commitments, and so I can't just stay home and knit all the time, which is a bummer. I've even swatched for 2 sweaters Like, I am ready. But I gotta, you just gotta take it one day at a time. I'm not an octopus. I can't knit 4 sweaters at once. Okay. That is all for today. I think I should be back in 2 weeks, no problem. And I guess we'll see which sweater I chose. If you guys do want to see a video from me about like knitting plans, let me know. I'll make it. It might be a shorter one. But if you're not interested, then you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'll just talk about it in the regular podcast. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep trying to work down on my whips. And yeah, the goal is to create, so I think I am going to flock again this year. I think I already booked the hotel. I think as soon as I found out the dates and the location, I booked it. So, and I believe my mom's coming with me again as well. It'll probably be a shorter trip because my mom, my dad, and I are taking a bigger trip in October, and so I need to save up to PTO, and I can't spend a lot of money on yarn. But the goal is to knit these sweater quantities down before August, which I think is doable. I haven't felt a huge urge to buy yarn lately, which has been really nice. So yeah, so the plan is to knit through some of the stuff I have. I might do another de-stash in the next month or two. We'll see. As I'm looking through things, I'm like, there are some things that like I love, but like realistically, probably not going to use it. And so I'd much rather that yarn get used by somebody else. So we'll see. If I do a de-stash, I will give plenty of advanced warning so that if you want it, you have a chance to, I don't want to say bid for it because I'm not bidding, but you have a chance to snatch it. But yeah, so that is it for this week. I hope you guys have a really good couple of weeks. I hope you get lots of time to be cozy and spend lots of time knitting. This time of year is really hard, I think, to like motivate yourself to exercise because it's cold and it's dark and it's snuggle in and be lazy weather. So I'm hoping that you get a chance and remember it's important to move your body. I'm preaching to myself. I actually bought a walking pad last year, and last night I was sitting on my couch knitting and realized I've just had a full day at home and I have not exercised at all. And the Thunder was on last night, the Thunder basketball team. We won, woohoo. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna walk for the first quarter. So I pulled out that stupid walking machine and I walked for 30 minutes. It was slightly more than the first quarter, but I did it. I got my exercise in. I felt better afterward. I slept really good. It was not hard exercise, but it was something. It was better than sitting on my couch. So yes, I hope you guys get a chance to move your bodies however that works for you, that you get to spend time with people you love. Again, if you guys have the means and you feel led to, please click on the link in the description box below for the American Red Cross to help with the California wildfires. I hope you guys stay safe, stay warm, and have lots of time knitting, and I will see you back in a couple weeks. Bye.